If you're coaching a group to their first or maybe their second gym race, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to give you all the tips you need to prepare them optimally for their first race. The first and most important questions you have to ask yourself is: how big is my group? What materials do I have to coach my class? What is the level of my training group? And what is the goal I have for this training? Before you're going to make your training, it's really important that you think of a good goal. To make this video a little bit shorter and maybe a little bit more concise, I'm going to focus on the two most important, in my opinion. The first one is optimize your technique and your efficiency of movement. And the second one is improve your strength and your strength endurance in certain movement patterns. The first goal you can have in your training is improve your technique and efficiency of movement. How you do that is mostly under fatigue. So you want to use the exercises to get a certain fatigue in your body, but then still make sure that your technique is on point and you're moving as efficiently as you can. You want to do that because during the gym race you have to do a lot of reps of a certain exercise, and if you're going to lose your technique and that way also your efficiency, it's going to take way more energy to complete your race. How you can do that in the training is, for example, you're going to work every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. So you're going to put on a clock for 10 minutes. During the 10 minutes, you're going to build up fatigue in your legs and in your shoulders, and then you have a short rest. That way, you're going to build up a lot more volume in the movement. One way you can increase that or build that up over time is, instead of 10 minutes, you're going to build up to 12, 14, 60 minutes, etc. Or you can increase the amount of wall balls you do in every minute. So you start with 10, and maybe later on you do 11 or 12, maybe all the way up to 20. A second goal that might be important for your clients is increase their strength or their strength endurance. In a gym race, you're doing a lot of work in a certain movement with a lot of reps. In your training, what you can do is you can use certain sets with more weight than you use in your gym race to increase the strength you use in certain movement patterns. If we're going to take the lunges, for example, in the gym race, you're going to use 30 kilos for a really long distance. So what you can do in your training is you're going to decrease the distance. So for example, you're going to make 10 to 20 steps, but instead of using 30 kilos, you're going to use 40 or 50 kilos. That way, you're building your strength in your training so that when you're doing it in the gym race, it's going to be a lot easier when you use less weight over a longer distance. One of the benefits of this style of training is that if you have a big group, you can split them up into smaller groups. That way, no one is in the way of each other. You're going to do more sets with a little bit of longer rest. So you're going to stay at your station and you're going to do, for example, 3 to 4 sets of the heavier lunges for 10 to 20 steps. If you want to make this a little bit more structured, you can always use a clock. That, for example, you're going to start your set every 3 minutes. So it's almost the same as every minute on a minute, but then every 3 minutes. So for example, if you're going to do 20 lunges, it's going to take you about 90 seconds. So the rest of the 3 minutes, so the remaining 90 seconds, you have rest. These are some different styles that you can use in your group training. The first one is AMRAP, which stands for as many rounds or as many reps as possible in a certain time. So for example, you're going to have 3 exercises of 20 reps per exercise, and you're going to be doing as many reps or as many rounds as possible for 20 minutes. This is a really nice style of training in your group because it's a really set and structured time that the workout is going to take. So if you coach for a full hour and you're going to do an AMRAP of 20 minutes at the end, you know that it's going to finish well within the hour. A downside of this style of training can be, if people know they're going to be working for 20 minutes, it can happen that people can start off a little bit slower than you might want them to. A second style that you can do is you're going to be training for time. So for example, you're going to do 3 rounds for time. It looks pretty similar to the AMRAP, but there are a couple differences. So the big difference here is that it challenges people a little bit more. The second style that you can use in your group training is for time. This also has some positives and some negatives. The main difference between for time and AMRAP is that the time they're going to be working is not known before the workout, because everyone is working as fast as they can. A positive thing about this is that people are going to be a little bit more competitive because they know it's kind of like a race and they try to finish as fast as they can. So the intensity of the workout is going to be a little bit higher. And the last one is a chipper workout. GYMRACE, for example, is also a chipper workout. A chipper workout is basically a whole list of exercises you want to do, and at the end, you're done. One of the perks of this is that it teaches people to determine their own intensity of their workout. So for example, if you're going to be doing 3 rounds for time of 20 wall balls, you're doing 60 wall balls in total, but you're splitting them up into 3 rounds of 20 wall balls each. In a chipper workout, for example, you're going to be doing 60 wall balls in total. So it's up to you how you're going to split them up, which is the same as in the gym race. So it teaches people to determine their own intensity and their own strategy. A downside for the chipper workout is kind of the same as in the workout for time, because it can exceed the hour of the workout you want it to be, because some people might finish in 30 minutes and some people might finish in 50 minutes. And the people who finish the slowest can also seem a little bit demotivated at the end of the workout because they are the slowest. So that's something to keep in mind when you coach this style of training. Here are some extra tips if you're limited on training material or have a really big group. The first thing you can do is, if you're going to do 3 exercises and you're going to, for example, work MRAP 15 minutes, is to let everyone start at a different exercise. This way you're doing sort of a staggered start where everyone starts at a different position, and like a train, they're moving back to back through the exercises for 15 minutes. Another example that you can do is work every minute on a minute for 30 minutes with 6 stations. That way you're going to do 5 rounds of every exercise. If you have a big group, you can let, for example, 2 or 3 people start at one station and they're going to rotate every minute. This way it's more of like a circuit and you're not limited by the training material you have. I hope that with the tips in this video you can coach your group maybe a little bit better or a little bit more specific towards their gym race. If you have any questions, please let them know down here and we'll cover them later. And I wish you all the luck in your next gym race.